Hello everyone, I am Miss Saili Jadhav, Department of Civil Engineering. So, in this lecture, we are learning starting our chapter number 3, that is safety in construction. In construction management subject, we learned all that is planning and scheduling. First, we learn the organization, then we learn the planning. Now, the last is safety in construction, how to be used safety in while we are doing the construction. Okay, so in this chapter we are learning what is the safety, causes of accidents and remedial preventive measures. Okay, then the labor laws related construction industry. So let us start our third chapter, that is safety in construction. Now, what is safety in civil engineering? So the safety engineering is the term for all efforts on the part of management to prevent accidents. Safety construction is considered important of the following reason, that is important of safety comes under first, human life is considered invaluable, and the second one is direct cost of previous accident, that is your medical care and compensation to the injured, expenditure on insurance premium, then the cost of legal proceedings, then the damage to property and the delay to the project. Then the third one is indirect cost, investigation into cause of accidents, that is loss of skilled men and women. And the third one is loss of equipments. Now the definition of safety, it involves a three-pronged requirements. First one is freedom from danger or a risk, freedom from injury, then harmlessness, which is a state of being without hurt, loss or liability. In construction work, it is essential that all care is taken to ensure safety of all concerned. Preventive measures should be taken to eliminate or minimize accidents results in danger to life and the property of people concerned. Accident is defined as an unintentional or unexpected happening, except in the case of acts of nature and God. Accidents are caused by negligence. So, while an accident might occur and endanger the life of a person or a life of persons, the negligence might be his and their own or due to negligence of others. So, the factors to judge the nature and the extent of accidents in construction work. So, the construction manager will responsible for all reasonable protection to prevent damages, injury or a loss. All employees on the work and all other persons who may be affected thereby. All the work and all materials and equipment related for the construction and under the case, custody and control of the construction manager. Other property at the site adjacent thereto. Now this is the chart of your common causes leading to accident on construction sites and the precautions to be taken to avoid the accidents. The first one is causes of accident and the next one is the safety measures. Okay, so the personal lacking, that is the lack of ability, lack of knowledge, impairment of functions, fatigue, lack of interest and deliberate taking of risk. So the safety measures are arrange a meeting from a time to time to discuss the safety measures, display the effective safety poses, then maintain good relation in the organization, then arrange films on safety precautions, give process training of complicated construction and avoid fatigue. Then the faulty working method. Faulty working method, first one comes striking against project. So the safety measure is provision of sufficient working space. The second one is falling of objects. So the safety measure is carefully handled of tools and materials. Use of helmets while working at higher levels. Then the falling of a person. The safety measure is provision of guard rails while working at higher levels. Then the failure of forms, ladders, scaffolding, etc. So you have to take the safety measure is use special material, proper method of erection, especially in high scaffolding, rechecking of the strength from time to time. Then the fifth one is hazards in use of explosive, that is the carefully storage, handling and use of explosive, vacation of explosion area. The misfire should be dealt carefully. The sixth one is presence of injurious gases, toxic dust. So use the gas masks, proper ventilation and medical aid. Then the next one is unforeseen causes, that is the rescue measures and advice. Now next one is structural failures. What are the structural failures? Failures of substratum, that is the carefully subsurface investigation. Failure of excavation, it comes the carefully stability investigation, providing slope or a support to the sides. Then the quick completion of foundation and side refiling. Then third one is substandard material, the testing of material, that is cement, concrete, cube, brick, steel, road metal, etc. Then the sorting out the good materials. The fourth one is faulty implementation of designs, that is inspection by designer and competent supervision. Then the faulty of construction practice, competent supervision and employment of competent trade workers. Then unauthorized changes, that is change to be made only on written order from competent authority. The next one is carelessness in supervision. So the fixing the responsibility of supervision, written certificates from competent authority at important stages. Then the next one is natural causes like earthquake. So the assessment of the magnitude and suitable provision in the design of structure. All these are the causes of accident and its safety measures. Now the important points in the construction engineer and supervisor has to bear in mind in order to ensure the safety. The first one is understand the drawing and specification. So one should not hesitate to ask the clarification in the case of doubt. Then study the site. Think of appropriate modification when the site condition prove to be different from initial assumption. Then select the right workman for a right job, especially when involves the hazardous work. In a sequence of activities, take a remedial measures to correct the mistake as when the activities occur as far as possible. Then the removal of dismantling of a temporary structure is as important as a construction of the same. Then in case an accident does not occur, be prepared to provide appropriate aid to the affected workmen in the quickest possible time. Now the next one topic is accident. So accident is defined as an unintentional or unexpected happening. Okay, so what are the factors affecting injury frequency rate and injury severity rate? So according to some classification, construction accidents are grouped, that is uncontrolling contact between workers and equipment, then failure of temporary structures such as scaffolds, ramps, ladder, formwork, etc., then unsafe practices of workers. So the accident cost. Accident cost is the every accident brings with it losses, and in the form of sacrifice human lives, loss of material or equipment. So the accident costs are broadly classified as direct cost or indirect cost. So indirect cost that can be easily evaluated known as cost or tangible cost. It includes the cost required to be paid to the workers under temporary or permanent injuries. And the indirect cost means it is evaluated as indirect and it required the following items, that is the cost due to spoilage of material, cost of time lost by injured workers, and the cost of lost production because of an accident. So now the next one is important acts and laws. So the condition of labor working in construction industry is very poor. The number of workers employed in construction industry is nearly 4, 4 crores. There are mostly unskilled and semi-skilled workers. So in the construction industry, contractors dictate the term of services conditions, particularly to skilled workers. They are paid very poor wages, so they have very little or practically no bargaining power. It leads to their exploitation. So due to poor working conditions, their efficiency also remain below the expectancy. To remedy the situation, the government has to from time to time brought out a laws to improve the condition of the labor operation. So the types of construction labor is casual labors and labors on regular establishment. So in casual labors is recruited according to the need of construction industry. They are paid as per daily wages and the payment is made at every week end or fortnight. Such laborers are not allowed any paid holidays or any other benefits. And the regular establishment has to employed for longer period. They are skilled workers and paid on monthly basis. They are entitled on holidays, leave and such other benefits. Now the necessity of labor acts are to help pay fair wages to workers, to give the compensation to workers, victims, and to procure job security for the workers, to minimize the unrest among the workers, and to fix hours working and rest pauses, etc. Then the classification of labor laws. First one is laws regarding the worker conditions of labor, that is Factory Act 1948. The second one is laws regarding wages and other payments to labor, that is Minimum Wages Act 1948. And the third one is laws regarding the special securities of labor, that is Workers Compensation Act 1923. Okay, now the next one is term used in the main provision of acts. The first one is adult, that is the completed 18 years of age. Then adolescent, that is the person who completed 15 years but not completed 18th year. Then calendar year, that is the period of 12 months. Then the child, that is not completed, it is under age 15. Then the day is a period of hour beginning at the midnight and the ending next midnight. Week is a period of 7 days, and power is the electrical energy or any other form of energy mechanically transmitted. Then the next one is prime mover. It is an engine, motor or any other appliances. Then the machinery, which is include the prime movers, transmission machinery. Then the manufacturing process, it is any process for making, altering, repairing, finishing, packing and curing, etc. Then the pumping oil, water or sewerage. Then the constructing, reconstructing, etc. Then worker means a person who employed directly or through the any agency. Then the factory means where the workers are working. Occupies means a person who are ultimate control over the affairs of factory. Okay, now the next one is Factory Act. So Factory Act is passed 1948 for labor working factories, through not directly applicable to the labor working construction industries, yet the provisions are applicable to the labor convert under the term of factory, are defined as such as these manufacturing, fabricated, competent form of fabrication, structural fabrication, etc. The law providers laying this basis of requirements are cleaning, dispose of waste, prevention of overworking, safety requirements, welfare facilities, annual leave, fixation of worker hours, intervals for rest. So the main feature is approval, licensing and registration of the factory. Then the health provision, that is cleanliness, lighting, ventilation, drinking water, bathrooms. Then the next one is safety provision. So if safety provision, it is a fencing of machineries, hoisting and lift. Welfare provision comes under the sitting facilities, canteens, shelters. Then the house of work means holidays, overtime wages. Then the employment of young person, that is no child has been allowed under age of 14. Then the annual leave with wages means only 1 day per 20 days of actual work for adults and 1 day for 15 years actual work of indolences. Then the dangerous operation. Dangerous operation means if any operation is carried out the factory exposes any worker serious type of bodily injury, poisoning, the state government may declare the operation is to be dangerous. Then the accident and disease, you very well know that the penalties of any contraventions of any provision of acts or any rule of manager, factory shall be guilty of an offence and may be punished with imprisonment or fine as may decided under this act. Okay, these the acts. Now the important definitions in respect of compensation act. So dependent, so they include the widow, a minor son, unmarried daughter, widowed mother, and if the wholly or partly dependent on the earnings of the workman. Then the partial disablement, total disablement, workman. Okay, now the next one is employees liability of compensation. It comes if the injury has been carried by an accident during the course of employment. The injury is resultant in the workman's death, permanent or temporary, or the total or partial disability. Then the amount of compensation. Amount of compensation means the average monthly wages of the workman, which should not be more than ₹1,000. Nature of injury, that is death, permanent total disability, total partial temporary disability, the amount of compensation payable in case of different injuries. And the next one is distribution of compensation. It means the payment of compensation in respect of death or any legal disability shall be deposited with the commissioner. The employer can give advance to any dependent on account of compensation not exceeding ₹100. Then the notice for claim of accident. A workman injured in an accident has to be give a notice in writing accident to the employer. Then the medical examination. So the medical examination, when the work has given notice of an accident and he shall often himself will be examined fee for a charge by a qualified medical practitioner before the expiry of 3 days from the time at which the notice has been issued. Then if a workman refuses to submit himself examination by qualified medical practitioner, his right to compensation shall be suspended. Then the appointment of commissioner. It means the act of provides appointment of commissioner by resolving this dispute arising out of claims for the compensation, and all payments of compensation are made through the commissioner. Okay, so here we completed our third chapter, safety in construction. What are the acts, what are the laws for labors, and what are the safety measures used, okay, when the accident happened. Okay, thank you.